Good afternoon. Welcome to Homegrown and Happiness. Kellie here. We are going to teach you today how to start a worm composting bin. So let's get started. I have everything ready. So thing number one is you're gonna need a tub. Now, the reason that we are doing a worm composting bin right now is because a few years ago, I've always done worms. And a few years ago, we lost our worms due to me being ill and not taking care of them. So we decided it's time to get it started again, and here's why. Worm castings that you get from compost, from the worm composting bin are phenomenal for your garden. To go in your soil, go in your beds, they are just fantastic. And so we call it actually worm gold. I think is what it's like the golden thing for the beds. So we decided we needed to have that again this year, so that's why we're getting this going. So first thing you're going to need is you're going to need a tub. This is the kind of tub that we use, that I like to use. And to show you what you have to do for the setup is you have a lid, and we have holes. In every part where the squares come together, there's a hole. We also have holes right here in the tub all the way around. You do tub holes there. Then if you want worm tea, what you're going to do is you're going to put holes in the bottom, a few. You're going to put this inside another tub with a gap, like using some rocks or a piece of wood. And then it allows the drainage to come out, and then you can take that and you can spread that on your garden as well. This tub itself right now that we're starting will not be for worm tea. So that's first off. We are just starting a worm composting bin. In the worm composting bin, the things that you're going to use to feed your worms are kitchen scraps. So things like tomatoes and a banana or an apple or anything like that, just no citrus. You can do lettuce, anything like that to feed them. Just save your compost from your kitchen, your scraps from your kitchen, and put it in there. I don't do onion, I don't do potatoes, anything like that. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start building our worm compost bin. So first thing, we got our empty tub, and we're going to add, first thing, it's called cocoa fiber, and it's urban worm. It's a soil amendment and worm bedding. So this is the first thing we're going to do. What we already did is we already took it, we added water, we squeezed out all the water, and then this is what we get. And so we're going to use this. And that's going to be the main part of our bedding. Just kind of spread it around. There's what it looks like. Hopefully you can see that. Then we're going to take newspaper that's been wrung out. You want it damp like a sponge. We're going to take a bunch of newspaper and we're going to toss it in here and mix it in with all this. Get it all spread around in there. And there's what this looks like. Hopefully you guys can all see that. And then we're going to take our worms. And you're going to take your worms, whatever they come in, leave them in that. So ours come with a little bit of dry newspaper and some of the packing soil that they come in. And you're going to take and you're going to put them in the center of your tub, just enough that you can put a little bit of this bedding on top of them. You want them as in a ball as possible when they go in. Why we are so stuck, I'm getting them there. You want to put them in there so they're like in a ball with the newspaper or whatever they came in. Can all be spread over that. Got some others to put in here.
Show one of the worms if you can find one.
Yeah, let me see if I can find some worms.
Yeah, we're looking the bowl on the side.
Oh, here's one. Little red wigglers is what they are. You can't really see them. And then, but I got some bigger ones right here. Let's see if I can. There, they're moving. I got some bigger ones right there. I don't know if you can see them. Anyway, so let's get them packed in there. Okay, and they will eat all of this. They will eat all of this. Then what you're going to do is, you're going to take, I am taking a couple of tomato slices, and I'm putting one on each end with just a little bit of soil to cover them. And here's what this looks like. Hopefully you guys can see that. So I just used my dry newspaper that when the worms came in on top. The worms are in their ball underneath with just a little bit of the soil on top, and then I toss the dry newspaper on top. And I don't need to wet the newspaper down right now, but eventually you want to. So you're going to need a spray bottle and use only filtered water. That's my personal choice here. Filtered water, and you just make sure it stays damp like a sponge, not soaking wet. You just want it to stay damp. Right now we're damp because we just did all this. We soaked the stuff, oh gosh, why do I keep forgetting? The cocoa fiber. Anyway, we soak that, we soak the newspaper, so it's going to be pretty damp in here. Then we are pretty much ready to go. I've given them their food. I am not going to check this for a few days because I want to let things start working and have no disruptions. I want to leave them alone. They're actually going to go in my office and tucked away under my desk, and so I won't worry about them for a few days. And I'll probably, today is Friday, I'll probably check on them Monday or Tuesday and just see how we're doing, if we're moving. The big thing is you don't want them to cook, so do not put them in your greenhouse, anything like that. You also don't want them to get too cold, so not on an outside wall. So just a dark, not a cold place, but a dark, cool place would be just fine for your composting bin. Okay, next time we do this, when we go to harvest our worm castings, I am going to go through that whole process with you, show you what we do, shaking them out, how much we get, and how healthy the worms look. Because right now these babies are teeny, teeny, tiny, so they need to do some growing, some eating and growing for us. So there you go. There is our worm composting bin for the 2026 gardening season at Homegrown and Happiness. Thanks, guys.